joined the Human Rights Campaign in calling on the Senate to pass the Equality Act, the HRC said yesterday. It's the largest business coalition ever in history to come together in support of legal LGBTQ plus equality. Passed by the House in February, the Equality Act would expand existing civil rights laws to explicitly outlaw discrimination based on an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity. It would also improve protections for women, people of color, and people of all religions. But while the legislation's proponents say the Equality Act would simply build upon existing tenets of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, opponents of the bill say it would jeopardize religious objections, by which business owners can deny services to LGBTQ plus individuals in the name of religion.
Well, I mean, it's never going to pass. We're not close to 60 votes, and there was a time when country club Republicans, the kind that could get elected in, say, New York and Connecticut, they are no longer in the party. Now it's just made up of evangelical, conspiracy theory-loving traitors.
Do you think, I'm curious, do y'all think it's important that so many major U.S. corporations have said, regardless of the politics, the Senate should do this anyway?
Absolutely. I think that, I work in corporate America and spend the majority of my career in it. And a lot of companies are going towards diversity, equity, and inclusion and creating policies beyond what's mandated by the government. And they're creating these policies in their own organizations for their employees. So whether or not the bill passes or not, there's a lot of programs that are being put in place by these Fortune 500 companies to protect their own employees.
I'm also curious, in this announcement by the HRC and getting so much of corporate America to support the Equality Act, do you think over the next 5 years, 10 years, we're watching a separation, just as you've said, of major corporations saying we must embrace diversity and equality versus the individual baker that says, I don't have to make you a wedding cake?
No.
It's typically a one-person, two-person, three-person small business that is actually discriminating. Do you think over the next 5, 10 years that the corporate thinking of diversity is going to win?
Well, it's the power of the American dollar, the almighty dollar. And I like to think that this is maybe a trickle down that will work, actually, because when you're touching the large corporations and so many people who work for them, that does branch out into the family unit, cousins, sisters, brothers, uncles, etc. And I just wanted to also note that, that HRC has been very smart in how they created the Corporate Equality Index many years ago. And they judged corporations on their performance in the arenas of the LGBTQ plus community. Yeah. And corporations listened and started making changes. And that has been a big boon to our community.
So is the bottom line, you think we'll be better 5 years from now, 10 years from now than we are today?
Absolutely. And especially with a lot of corporations now that are implementing chief diversity officers, and they're making sure that programs are in place to make sure their marketing and communications are diverse, that their policies are inclusive of all employees, and that their promotions and new hires are equitable across the board.
Yeah, I mean, we're winning South Florida. We're winning corporate America, but we're just going to continue to give headlines to these mom and pop headline-seeking losers.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus